Hello and welcome. I'm Kevin and this is the Real Laptop Lifestyle. Today's video is about the importance of writing thank you notes. Let's get straight into it. If you always take the time to write a thank you note, then what follows could end up happening to you also. Let me just move myself over here. Have you noticed how some people, in fact too many people, have absolutely zero manners and nil social skills? They don't want to say thank you. There's no politeness about them at all. Now, good manners cost nothing and they will get you remembered. I'm always being told about my children by other parents. They go, "Oh, your children, they're so well mannered." And it means such a lot to me. I'm about to share a true story which truly illustrates this potential. Now, you can use this idea or a variation of it and watch your business grow. And it will. I promise you it will work if you use it. The person in question is called Sally. Actually, it's not her name at all. She said I could use this story and share it with you, but she didn't want to use her name. So just for another reason, we've named her Sally. And I first met Sally about probably 15 to 20 years ago. Couldn't say exactly when it was. And I met her at a breakfast network meeting. I used to run a service at the time. So I used to attend quite a lot of networking groups, either in the evenings or the mornings. I used to like the breakfast ones, get them out of the way early. And the way it works is with a breakfast meeting, you sit down with maybe 5 or 6 other people at the same table, and you go to a table where the people you don't know, hopefully, and every week it's different. And during the breakfast, you get a chance to stand up and talk about your business and tell people what you can do for them, the benefits. Now, the idea of a breakfast club is actually you're supposed to promote everyone else, but not many people look at it like that. They're just there to try and sell something. Now, Sally was on the table that morning, and it was hard to miss Sally because when she spoke to you, she wasn't like most people, constantly networking and looking around for where the next pound was coming from. Sally gave you her full attention and she concentrated in on you. And as you spoke, she nodded and she listened carefully and she put her head on one side a little bit. And when you were speaking and telling everybody about your product, it was hard not to find yourself staring at Sally because she was such an attentive listener and her body language was so positive. She was a real people person. When Sally stood up to speak, she told us that she was a car saleswoman. And I later learned that not only was she a car saleswoman, she was not only the best at her company, but for the cars that she sold, the type of car, she was the best in the country. And this is how Sally got her business. So no one interfered with her or told her what to do. She was that far ahead. Anyway, Sally got up and told people how she could what she could do with cars and how she always put people first. And she did. This is what Sally did. She always put people first and their needs. And as a result, I'm sure a lot of people went to see her. Anyway, my real relationship with Sally started immediately after that meeting because about 2 hours later, no, I'm sorry, it was the next morning. The next morning, I had an envelope arrive through the door and I opened it and it was beautifully handwritten. And when I opened it up, there was a beautiful short letter in there and it was from Sally. And she was saying how interested she was in what I did and she remembered it. And she thought that I had huge potential and she'd be very happy to promote me to other people. Now, over the years, Sally had sent me so many customers you wouldn't believe. She was the only person I know who actually did networking correctly. I did return her quite a few customers as well. But anyway, a bit later on, not long after that, I was thinking about changing a car. So who do you think sprang to mind? So I rang up Sally and she said she'd love to see me. So I went round and we sat down and we looked at the cars that were a good potential for me. I liked her type of car anyway, her make of car. And I ended up buying a car. And the next day again, I got a letter saying thank you so much for her business. She really valued it. And it didn't stop there. When my birthday came around, how the heck she knew about it? She must have taken it off the sales leaflet. There was a birthday card and a handwritten greeting. In fact, I got lots of letters from Sally, and I went back and I gave her my business again and again and again. And she was somebody who you really wanted to give business to because she would reciprocate. A few years later, we're talking about 6 or 7 years ago now, the company that Sally worked for went bust, bang, gone completely. And she was suddenly out of a job. And now Sally, I found out at this point, Sally had been offered promotion and headhunted so many times you wouldn't believe. But she didn't want to be a car sales room manager. She didn't want to be a distributor, even though she'd been great in those things. She liked dealing with people, and she wanted to stay a saleswoman. And suddenly there was about 3 local companies offering her really good wages to go and work for them. And about this time, she called me. And she said, could we have a chat? And I said, yeah, absolutely. So she came straight round and she told me that she didn't really want to go back into working for somebody else, but she fancied working for herself, starting her own business. And as I run the Laptop Lifestyle and used to help coach a lot of people to get started, she asked if I could go through a few ideas with her. So I said, what are you thinking of doing? And she said, I'm thinking of becoming a florist. And I said, have you got any floristry skills? She said, well, a little bit. I did a course once, but I haven't got huge skills, but they can soon be gained. I agreed with her. But she didn't really want to have a high street shop. Anyway, the long and the short of it was that Sally set up her own business, but she set it up from her garage. She had a double garage. And rather than selling to the public, she sold, because that's not where the money is. The money really, it might be good on Mother's Day and for anniversaries, but other than that, the money is in establishments that buy flowers regularly. So I helped Sally build a designer website, and she put that together, and off she went selling it. And a few days later, of course, as always, a letter arrived. And I was so grateful. She was so, she was so encouraging, and she was so nice to work with. Goodness, who wouldn't want to work with a woman like that? She was so nice all of the time. And not only that, a big bouquet of flowers came. A bit later on, it was my wife's birthday, another great big bouquet of flowers came. And that's the sort of person she was. She was really very good, and you couldn't ever forget her. About 4 or 5 months went past, and we got invited to her house. And when I got there, I said, how's the business going? She said, brilliant, brilliant. I said, so are you doing all the arranging yourself? She said, no, I've got 3 people working for me now. What? She's got 3 people working for her. She was just about to put another double garage, or extend the depth of the double garage. So she got more people in there working on it. She got somebody delivering full time. And all she did was go around, see people, give them a complimentary arrangement for whatever their establishment was. Get to know who it was. I'm sure she found out their birthday. And when she got back, of course, she'd send them a letter. I can't tell you how many people I have met who know her, and they go, oh, that lady, and she always sends me a letter, such a beautiful letter. Well, I know too well what that letter is like. And more recently, this is about 2 years, 3 years on. No, must be more, about 5 years on. Her business has grown absolutely massive. It's now a 6-figure net business a year. And I've met so many people who've had these letters off Sally. And she supplies them with flowers. And she goes about 20, 30 miles radius all around. And she must be the biggest florist in the area who wanted a high street shop. She recognized she could do better without the overheads, working from home. And when I walked into her house, we got invited round again. She had a door open, and I could see a writing desk. And her writing desk she was writing letters. And I said, Sally, how many of those letters do you write every day? And she said, 20 or 30 every day. And she keeps up with people's birthdays, and I'm sure Christmas comes around, you get a Christmas card as well. And she has built a huge business because people like her. I think I've also heard people say, gosh, she's not cheap. In fact, she's more expensive, But you know what? She offers an absolutely excellent service. And when you know someone's grateful for your service and is actually telling you this, will you use them again? Of course you will. This is such a nice person. She has made a six-figure income from being nice and sending out notes. I hope you can learn from that, because this is something you could do. I don't know what business you're in, but if you're dealing with people, people love to get notes and thanks and compliments. Oh, by the way, her notes were always full of compliments. They were never long. They were quite small. I wish I had one really here to show you. They were never huge. And they're always full of compliments. And of course, everyone attached to the back would have her business card. So you always, she constantly kept in touch with you. They say in business that you need to have 7 contact points before you start remembering somebody. I don't know if that's true, but Sally certainly kept in touch with you. And she had customers going back for years who, from the car business, who were now buying flowers off them. They needed them. Why? Because she's a lovely person. Because she always remembered them. She always remembered their name. If you can use this, please do take a bit of it, adapt it to your business, because I know it will work for you, and suddenly you'll have a lot of very grateful customers. I'm lucky enough to see Sally quite regularly, and I have to admit, it always amazes me that Sally can earn such a fantastic income just by sending out thank you notes and being nice to people. But that is the power of good manners and taking it that extra step further. So please consider using this yourself. Now, if you have any comments or questions, right below this video, you'll find a place for asking them, and I will answer them. I need to know something. Did you enjoy, or did you like this video? Because if you did, I'm delighted. And could you tell me this, please, by clicking the blue thumbs up right below. Also, subscribe to my video channel. If you subscribe and push this little button here as well, the bell, it will mean a lot to me, seriously, but also it means I will keep you up to date with every new video I make. So rather than wondering, did Kevin make a video and where is it and how do I find it? It will actually tell you every time you go to YouTube that you'll see the bell highlighted, and you go to that, it'll tell you all the videos I've made, what they are, and you can click straight through to them if you wish. That's one way of getting more valuable profit generating information. The other way is to join my profit generating email list. And the way to do that is, again, right below this video, you will see a link like this one. And that will take you through to this page, and just click the submit button. And I'm going to ask you to click on one of the buttons. It's just going to ask you, how much money do you want to make? Now, this is the Real Laptop Lifestyle. So presumably you are trying to set up your own better lifestyle, better paying lifestyle, one that gives you more free time to spend in the way that you want. So what I want to know is, do you want to earn just enough money to go on your next holiday, perhaps buy a new suit or for Christmas? Or do you want to go all the way and make as much money as you can from this? Now, everyone gets a certain amount of the same information, but if you want to make a huge amount of money, the information I send you is going to be a lot more powerful than somebody who wants to just earn extra money for Christmas, etc. And powerful information will just overwhelm them. So if you can subscribe to that, I'll keep you entertained. I'll try very hard anyway. I'll keep you up to date with lots of very useful tips, tricks, and information. If it's not for you, then you're free to unsubscribe at any time, and we can still remain friends. So thank you for your time watching this video. I look forward to speaking to you in the next one, or perhaps in my email. Bye-bye for now.